What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I am back again with another video for you guys. This video to me is one of the most important ones I think I'm gonna do. Um, when I've been thinking about this for a while, but when I said, you know what, I wanted to do something that was gonna be different. I wanted to do something that covered like a lot of stuff because I get a lot of questions about, just what type of gun to carry, what should I buy, what kind of gun to buy, what else do I need to have. And I kind of, I usually give people, my advice on certain things, but I say, why don't I do a video that like wraps all of that stuff up? And so I came up with basically a video that I feel that I wanted to do, which is this one, that's gonna pretty much sum up all of those questions, all of those concerns, all of those things that you always thought, well, what should, what if, how can, where could, all of that stuff. I wanted to wrap it up in this video, which is basically a video that's I'm gonna call myself. I said I'm gonna think of a real cool name, and I came up with the top 10 concealed carry commandments. So the top 10 concealed carry commandments is just basically my opinion, my thoughts, and my views on the 10 things that I think every person who is a concealed carry firearm holder should have, should do, should make sure that they got. That's pretty much what I wanted to do here. So what I came up with are 10 commandments essentially. And the first and foremost one, and I kind of like put these are pretty much in order. Yeah, these are pretty much in order to the best that I thought I could possibly do it. So first and foremost is going to be, thou shalt pick the correct caliber. A lot of people, especially first time concealed carry holders, a lot of people get the wrong idea about caliber. A lot of people say that, oh, you want the biggest thing that you have that can stop them, you want to carry a 45. Get yourself a 1911 ACP 45. That's what you do. You want to have something that's going to be a reliable gun stopper, get yourself a ACP 45 and you'll be fine. 1911. That's pretty much what a lot of people hear. You go into the gun stores and you'll see that old gun guy that's really smart. And I tell you, I'm gonna tell you this: one of my favorite people in the gun store. When you go into a gun store, first timers, you don't have to take this person's word as biblical law, but you definitely want to talk to this person, and that's the old gun guy, because the old gun guy has a lot of information. Now you don't have to go by everything the old gun guy says, but always lend an ear to the old gun guy, because the old gun guy usually has served, has seen a lot, and has done a lot. So therefore, he knows a lot, and is or she, and is quite has a lot of information that is quite useful. So I always, some of the best tips I've learned about shooting, I literally have learned, well, from law enforcement academy, but I've also learned from the old gun guy in the shooting range. That old guy that you see sweeping up the shells, that's a guy you want to talk to. That's a guy you want to ask, am I doing it right? That's a guy you want to say, hey, what do you think? The old gun guy who got the old school earmuffs on and he not really saying too much and he just sweeping up the shells and he watching for a little bit and he got his 45 on and the safety is off and the hammer's cocked back with the safety on. That's the guy you want to talk to. So I do not recommend the 45 for an everyday carry for a person who is a new concealed carry shooter. Oh, I mean, not shooter, but new concealed carry. Your first time, you're just now getting your feet wet into concealed carry. I definitely do not recommend a 45. 45s are for very seasoned veteran shooters, people who know how to make every shot count, because with a 45 1911 you only got a handful of shots. so I would say, hey, if you're a guy that, like the old guy who shot the guy in the church in Texas, that guy, yeah, he can carry a 1911 because he's a firearm instructor, and he hit that guy with one shot, headshot, some maybe 40 feet away. So yes, that guy can carry a 1911 45 ACP. But for the average everyday new to guns, this is my first gun or maybe my second, but I'm getting my everyday carry, do not recommend a 45. 45 does have a lot of stopping power, but also with that 45, you don't have a high capacity, and you tend to not play shots well, especially if you got one of those short 45s, one of those compact 45s, because of the power. When you shoot that gun, you get a lot of kick. So that's why I don't recommend that. What I recommend for somebody starting out is the tried and true classic 9mm. A 9mm firearm, you get the right bullet and you will be fine. So you can get a 9mm and you get the right type of bullet and you will be fine. Your duty ammo and what you practice with are two different things. So that's what I recommend. So thou shalt pick the right caliber. That caliber is 9mm. All right. Next, thou shalt purchase quality firearms. This is extremely important. Why? Because a lot of times people, especially new gun owners, they try to look for savings, dollar value, get the best bang for your buck. And let me tell you, there are plenty of firearms out there that are at great low prices. You can get you a 9mm handgun for $300-400. And let me tell you something, when you get that $300 gun or that $250 special that's on sale at Gander Mountain or on sale at Cabela's or whatever, you better make sure that it's made by a quality firearm manufacturer. And what I'm telling you is this: you want to make sure you stick to the key names. Don't go off and say, oh, I'm gonna get this one that nobody's ever heard of. Don't go buying High Points. Don't go buying that oh yeah, this gun was on sale for $199. No. Get you a firearm that is quality. If you got to spend a little bit more money, it's okay. Why? Because your life is on the line. This is a firearm that you're going to rely on to protect not only yourself, but your loved ones or someone else. You might be, out and about and you want to help save somebody's life. You want a piece of equipment, a tool that is going to work. Plain and simple. And when it comes to something like a firearm, no, you don't have to go out and buy Kimber, but you surely don't want to buy High Point. Stick to the key names. Stick to the Glocks. Stick to the Berettas. Stick to the Smith & Wessons. Stick to the Springfields. Stick to who else? I always forget this one. I don't know why I always forget this caliber, but I mean not this caliber, but this manufacturer. But I always do. The guys that make the P326 or whatever it is, they always got a P in front of their name. Darn it, I can't remember it. But you want to stick to one of those major manufacturers because those are the guys that will definitely stand by their particular firearm, and they make quality firearms. They take care of business when it comes to creating a fire. 6 Hour, that's the name. They take care of business when it comes to quality because they don't want their guns failing, because they care about their name. So you want to go and you want to purchase a quality firearm from those main guys: 6 Hour, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, Beretta. Those are the guys you want to stick with. Number 3, thou shalt purchase a quality belt and holster. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. I have seen plenty of people who go out and they buy an expensive firearm, but then they have a Walmart special belt. I don't get it. If you're gonna buy a quality firearm, buy a quality belt and a quality holster. Why? Because this is where your firearm sits. This is where you draw your firearm from. And you want something that is of quality. Walking around with some 1999 nylon holster is going to get you shot, or you're going to shoot yourself fooling around with it. That's all I have to say about that. That's go and get you a crossbreed. Go and get you one of these nice Kydex and leather combination, or all Kydex, whatever you want to do. Get you a quality holster and belt. The belt is key in a rig because the belt is what holds the holster. It's what allows the holster to sit in the position you want it to sit in. You don't want to go reaching for your firearm and trying to yank your firearm out, draw your firearm, and it's snagging on your belt, snagging on your holster because your holster's cheap. It's bouncing around and flopping around because your belt is cheap. Get you a real gun belt. Go to 511. Get you a 511 belt. Get you a crossbreed. I have crossbreed. I love crossbreed. Shout out to crossbreed. And no, they're not paying me to do this. I'm just telling you what I know. Get you a crossbreed holster. Get you a 511 holster. Get you one of those main manufacturers that know what they're doing and creating firearm holsters and belts for those firearms that you got. If you got to just get some general holster, you're messing up. So make sure you take care of yourself and spend a little extra money. Yes, it's probably going to cost you about $100 or $150 for a quality holster and a belt. Yes, it will cost a little bit more money. You may wind up spending about $200, but it's going to last a lifetime and it's going to be worth it. That's all I got to say about that. Number 4, thou shalt buy practice ammo and duty ammo and refresh duty ammo every 2 years, 3 max. What I mean by that is you buy your practice ammo. You can buy the cheap stuff if you want to. The only difference between the cheap stuff and the stuff that costs a little bit more is that cheap stuff just leaves a lot more carbon buildup, a lot more fouling that you got to clean off. So it's cheap, but you got to clean it more. However, a lot of people make the mistake of carrying their practice ammo as their duty ammo. And what I mean by duty ammo is the ammo that you need to use when you are not at the range. If you have your firearm on you and you're carrying it and you're going to have to shoot somebody, you don't need to be doing it with practice 115 grain 9mm ammo. No, you need you a good, solid, hollow point bullet. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier about picking the right caliber. When you're talking about stopping power, one of the biggest things in your stopping power is going to be velocity. Velocity, velocity, velocity. So I always recommend getting plus P ammo. Get you a good hollow point. I recommend the Hornadies. I recommend the Gold Dots. Those are very good. Get you a good hollow point that has plus P. That's just basically a little bit more powder in there. It's a little bit more supercharged powder to give it a little more pop. And it definitely increases the velocity of your bullets. When you're talking about velocity, you're talking about penetration, you're talking about stopping power. The faster that thing go, the harder it's going to hit, the more it's going to go through. When you're talking about blue jean jacket, leather jacket, whatever the case may be, that's what you want. Okay? So get you some good plus P ammo to carry as your self-defense ammo. Even when you go into the gun store, ask them where is the self-defense ammo. YouTube it, Google it, whatever the case may be. Get you and I'm gonna tell you right here, you're gonna spend a little bit more money. Instead of it costing you $15 for a box of 50 or 115 grain, it might cost you about $25 for a box of 20. However, you're gonna keep this ammo in your gun for a good 2 years. Like I said, 3 years, I don't recommend going that long, but 2, no more than 3 years. All right. Now, another thing about your duty ammo, buy enough duty ammo to practice with it some. Maybe get you about an extra 50 rounds or so that you can see how it works in your gun, so you can see how it feels, because there is a difference in how your cheap Walmart Federal 115 grain 9mm full metal jackets feel when you're shooting it than that plus P hollow point does. It's gonna have a little bit more pop to it, but you want to be comfortable with shooting both. All right, so get you another box or 2 of your duty ammo, of your self-defense carry ammo, so that you can have that ammo to practice with as well, so you know how it shoots and how it behaves. And also you want to make sure that your gun likes that ammo. There are certain gun manufacturers and certain gun bullet manufacturers that don't get along for whatever reason. Doesn't feed correctly, could be a difference in the jacket, could be a difference in just how it works in that gun. Just make sure that you have some to practice with. Okay. Number 5, thou shall buy quality gear and stuff to practice in. When you go to the range, you should have range gear. What I mean by range gear, I'm talking shoes or boots, some type of lightweight boot, your socks, your pants. Get you some pants that you wear just to the range. Get you a long sleeve. I recommend long sleeve, and I recommend something that goes up on your neck, a tight turtleneck, or get you one of those gaiters or something like that, something that goes around your neck area, because when you're at a range and you're at a gun range, over time, that lead and stuff gets in your clothes, and you should definitely not wash those clothes with the rest of your clothes. So you just going to the range with your regular everyday Saturday gear on. You should not have that gear on throughout the day. You wear your range clothes to the range. Once you leave the range, you go home. You take those clothes off immediately once you get to the house. Put those things in the machine, wash them by themselves. Done. That's what you want. And you want, like I said, a couple of pair of pants. Get you some nice pants that can withstand a beating or something like that. You want something that's tough, something that's durable. You don't want to get cheap stuff. Get something that's durable. You want to make sure you have a good range bag. You want to make sure you have something that's long sleeve, something that's out in the cold if you got to go out, because I'm going to recommend shooting outdoors as well. You want to make sure that you have something that can withstand the elements, and something that you can have indoors that's comfortable, that's durable. And like I said, when you leave the range, you should not go and you wash your hands with cold water and all that good stuff, but you shouldn't go eat and all that kind of stuff. You go to the range, go home and change, then you go out and hang out. Okay? All right, so make sure you get good quality stuff. Bags, clothes, hats, all that kind of stuff. Gloves, everything. Okay? Number 6, thou shalt get yourself a go bag. Now, what is a go bag? A go bag is a bag that you can grab and go, and has all of the things that you would need to survive for at least 72 hours, 3 days. So we're talking medical kit, we're talking ammo, we're talking food, we're talking some type of clothing, we're talking some type of shelter equipment like a blanket or something like that. Whatever it is, you want to get one of those little foil thermal blankets. You want to have a go bag. Why do you want to have a go bag? Because you never know when stuff might hit the fan and you got to go. So that go bag should have first aid equipment for gunshot wounds. It should have first aid equipment in there for treating cuts and scrapes. If you get like a broken arm, to be able to do a splint. It should definitely have a tourniquet. Any go bag, I don't care what you decide to put in it, always make sure that you have a tourniquet, at least one tourniquet in your go bag. Okay, you can have an ice pack in there and all that good stuff as well, but please make sure that you have a tourniquet in your go bag. You can also look up tourniquets and how to apply a tourniquet on YouTube. They have plenty of videos that show that kind of stuff. So let's see. Number 7, thou shalt educate, arm, train your family and household. So your family members and your household, the knowledge that you get from going out to the range, from going out and looking at YouTube videos, watching guys like myself. Click the subscribe button right now. Click the like button right now on the United Guns of America channel, UGOA, or you can, if it's on the Relationship Rehab, click that as well. And make sure you click and subscribe, but also share your content and stuff that you learn with your family members. No, everybody won't take to it like a fish to water like you have. Everybody's not as smart as you are to where they see how good this information is and how useful this information is. They won't. However, you just want to make sure that you're exposing them to it, because those one or two that may can absolutely in some way, shape, or form, or on some day be a very good and formidable teammate to have. So I'm always for, hey, when you're around and you learn something that's awesome and you learn something that's useful, grab somebody and try to teach it to them. So that's number 7. Number 8, thou shalt practice, 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 indoors and out. What does that mean? That means you need to be going to the range on a routine basis. You need to be going out to indoor ranges and outdoor ranges. It is different shooting indoor and it's different shooting outdoor. You can do a lot more stuff outdoor, but some people may live in areas where the weather's not as conducive to be outdoors all the time. You should still be indoors. The reason why you want to practice is because you're trying to create one thing: muscle memory. You're trying to create muscle memory, and that just instinct and habit that kicks in when you grab your firearm, the way you shoot your firearm. All of that is based on practice. Just because you have a good day at the range and you get all your good grouping, if you're not doing that consistently, trust and believe, when you're in a real life situation, those other factors will kick in. Your adrenaline pumping, there's could be loud noises or bangs. You could be in a fight. You could be in a scuffle. Somebody could already be shot and you could be trying to help them. And one of the last things you want to have to worry about are proper shooting mechanics. That should be second nature. And the only way that that happens is by practice, practice, practice. Not just sitting in your living room or sitting in your man cave or sitting in your garage doing dry fire. No. Dry fire is cool, but you need to get up and go to the range. Put 50 rounds through your gun at least a couple of times, 2 to 3 times a month, at least. Okay, it's not that expensive. It's only 40 or 50 bucks. Most and even ladies, you spend that on a pedicure. Go and spend you an hour and a half at the range, and put you some rounds through your firearm downrange and get it going. Okay? Okay. All right. Number 9. Thou shalt take additional classes. What do you mean by that, Brian? Additional classes is, hey, at least once or twice a year, go and take a shooting class. Find you somebody that gives them, make it a man trip, make it a girl's trip. Find you somebody who does shooting firearm classes and just go and be around other people that shoot, learn something from an instructor, take different types of classes. There are hundreds of classes and hundreds of people that teach classes. Find you somebody that you like, and the only way you're going to find that out is just by going. You don't necessarily have to go do a shooting weekend, but you can just, take a day. Mark it on your calendar, sign up for a class, register for a class, and just go and say, hey, I'm going to go for this defensive pistol training, or I'm going to go for this introduction to rifle shooting, or I'm going to take an AR class because I've never shot an AR, or I want to learn how to shoot an AR, or I want to learn how to shoot my handgun or my AR-15 better. You do that by going to classes. Go and take a class. You should take at least 1 or 2 classes. And even if it's a refresher class, whatever the case may be, take you a different class at least once or twice a year. Please do that. You can go to the NRA website. They have places where you can sign up for classes all over the country. So go and take an additional class. And last but not least, the number 10 commandment: thou shalt expose yourself to different ideas and opinions. Do not be one of these people that get bogged down in just their way of thinking, what you learned from you and your buddy, or what your daddy taught you, or what the old man at the gun range taught you, or what the new young kid at the gun store taught you. Always be open and have an open mind, and go and expose yourself to different types of environments that talk about and that use firearms. Because everything isn't for everybody, but you can absolutely learn something from any and everybody. Always remember that. Put yourself in a situation where, hey, Ask questions, ask people advice, expose yourself. Watch YouTube, watch handsome guys like me on YouTube, and just learn about different firearms, learn about different techniques, learn about cleaning and maintenance, learn about gun safety, all of that stuff. It's all an organic thing. Make sure that your gun culture is organic. It's always growing, it's always changing, it's always about learning different things. I I am still learning things today. I am always trying to learn different things, new things, different ways to do stuff, better ways to do stuff. I'm always trying to learn that because I want to be the best concealed carrier that I can possibly be. All right. Now, please make sure you click the like button. Please make sure you click the subscribe button. There is a donate button if you'd like to donate, if you like the content that you've seen. Hey, if you have any questions, please email me at ugoa1791@gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment on the my YouTube page. Leave a comment for this video if you got a question or something like that. I do live shows all the time where I take questions and all that good stuff. So, hey, go ahead and share this. Go ahead if you got something else to add to this. Any ideas you have, if I thought I did something wrong or something you disagree with, let me know. I love to have conversations because what you think and what I think could be two different things. But hey, not just you and me, but the other people that watch could learn something from it. So please feel free to do so. I don't mind being corrected and I don't mind being challenged. So I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I hope that this helps you become a better concealed carry holder. I hope that you learn something from this video and will pass it along. Click the like, click the subscribe somewhere down here. I appreciate everything that everybody has done to support the channel and support my videos. I am Brian Redmond, and remember, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Peace, and I'm out.